Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. The Pirillos are somewhere in Hawaii on a cruise ship.
On the biggest island.
Right next to the biggest island. We're not exactly on the biggest island, we're on a cruise ship.
We're right next to it.
Any old way. Ponzi and I love cruising, and we thought it'd be quite unique to stream the experience, so we're having a live video stream over a mobile broadband connection, so the quality is not perfect, but hey, at least we're pulling it off, right? And there are people that are still streaming even if I'm not at live.pirillo.com, and of course you know the chat room's open. So this is our, fifth cruise that we've taken?
Actually.
Fifth cruise, fourth different liner. We're trying a few of them. So Ponzi and I have cruised quite a bit, and we've amassed a handful of tips that I thought we'd impart a few of them to you. And the reason why I guess I like cruising is that you can go to a variety of places and your room is right there. It's nice and convenient. You can be leisurely. You can be adventurous. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's the best of all worlds. Even though I don't like flying to places because of a lot of the turbulence, I really don't mind being at sea. It's even when we've hit rougher waters, being on a larger vessel certainly mitigates some of that, although some people may be more sensitive than others. I'll get to that in a second. So the top 5 cruise tips from both Ponzi and myself, and Ponzi is just off camera here.
Hi.
She doesn't want to be on camera for some reason. I don't know why. So anyway, we've put these together. Number 1, dine later if you can. Now this is for a couple of reasons. Well, mostly later, off hours, because if you go during peak hours, it's going to be busy no matter where you go on a cruise ship. We found out on this particular cruise line that if you dine later, I mean, like a couple
specialty restaurants.
Well, no, pretty much every restaurant is half off. So they had a special rate. Yeah, you don't have to pay regular rate. Oh wait, okay. Ponzi, I know. What do you say it then?
No, I'm just saying that you don't usually have to pay for the regular restaurants, but if you
Right.
want to go to a specialty
There's specialty restaurants, obviously the ones you
then
can
you
pay
pay a
for.
premium for
Right.
those.
Like a steakhouse or any other kind of Italian or
burgers.
whatever it happens to be. So if you dine later, you could actually save money as well as not be crowded out by a ton of people. Number 2, casual versus formal. Now this is a big deal. I mean, I fought Ponzi tooth and nail on this one for 4 cruises until we finally arrived at this 5th one. There's usually a formal night in most restaurants, like for dinner, you have to dress up, like a jacket, nice, I mean, you can't even wear jeans, it's got slacks.
He just means a collared shirt and a jacket.
Right, dressed up is what I'm saying. You can't even wear jeans at half these places, no tennis shoes or anything.
Jeans, as long as they're nice jeans.
Anyway, so be prepared. If you're going on a regular cruise, there's probably going to be a formal night. You're going to want to bring along some kind of dress clothes with you. Just plan on it. Now, on that, too, check to make sure the cruise line you're going on, how they do dining arrangements. This one, the cruise that we're on, is a freestyle cruise, one of the only ones in the cruise line industry, because some lines, they will assign you times, they will assign you tables. In some cases, the table you're assigned, you may have to eat with the same people every day during your cruise, and sometimes they mix it up. I mean, it just depends. So you find out how they do things before you sign up, depending on your comfort level. Personally, I am in love with this freestyling thing because we can choose whoever, wherever, whenever, etc., 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 etc. And by the way, as I'm looking at the video, I'm reminded that I am a little dark here in the foreground because I want to highlight the background, and unfortunately it's really bright out, a little overcast right now, but this I thought would be more important than this. Number 3, book excursions early. I mean, the whole idea of cruising is that you can go from one place to another, to another, to another, and your room follows you, and the whole experience follows you. Booking excursions earlier rather than later will, A, guarantee you get the trips you want, and B, guarantee you get the times that you want. So you've got to be very, very careful about that. Ponzi and I, we've learned over time not to overbook. This time around, we didn't book any excursion until we got to the ship, and I think we're going to hit pretty much everything that we wanted to. We wanted to do a helicopter, which we did today, and then tomorrow we're whale watching, and I think we're just taking it nice and casually, which is important. Usually we overextend ourselves, and it gets a little hectic. We like, this is a vacation, we should be relatively relaxed. So for cruises, book excursions early, but if you do, don't overbook. Number 4, if you can, get a room with a view. I know that the rooms inside the ship without a window are cheaper, and even the rooms with a porthole are way cheap. That was the first cruise that we took, was a room with a porthole. I was like, this is it? It really wasn't that special. But then from then on, we scrimped and saved to make sure we could get rooms with a deck, like our own private porch, basically. And I don't know, I'm going to pick it up and move it over here. Ponzi, you're going to be in the video. Okay. So we got our own, like, lounge chairs. There's the wife.
The table with 4 chairs.
Yeah, we're on the table here.
So you can have breakfast outside.
Yeah, so you can order breakfast. You can usually leave something on the doorknob and have breakfast on your patio privately. We didn't do that this morning because we didn't get it in time.
Yeah.
So
we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's kind of nice. Having a room with a view, I think, changes the experience entirely. Being otherwise, where are you going to go? I mean, you got to go somewhere else, and it's nice to be having privacy of your own room where you can stream out to the internet. Of course, if I have neighbors listening, they probably have no idea what I'm doing right now. But anyway, number 5, and you may have seen this here. I'm not wearing this right now because I need it. I'm just wearing it for show. This is not a wristwatch. It is it's a band that you wear on your wrist, and it sends out electrical pulses at timed settings that will keep you from feeling seasick. So if you're someone who suffers from motion sickness, you may think about picking one of these up before you head out. I ended up buying this like a few years ago, and I've never used it. I've never really used it before.
I used it in Alaska.
Ponzi has used it before with motion sickness because it can happen. The thing is that with this, it's adjustable. The power is adjustable depending on where it's sitting. It's got to sit exactly on, I guess, I don't know, on the spot where you can feel it most, and you'll know exactly when it's on and when it's off. But if you don't have one of these, or you don't want to spend money on these, at least pick up some Dramamine before you come. And Ponzi was telling me that they now have these patches that you can wear, which work more effectively, apparently, than the Dramamine or the pills or anything else like that. So it's just something to consider. Even if you're not someone who normally gets sick, I always have this with me because you never know. I mean, it's better to be prepared than to be somewhere and going, oh, we needed to get this, we need to get that. So anyway, just keep these things in mind before you head out on a cruise. And I know there's so many other tips and tricks that we can probably pass to you. Like what else? I'm trying to think of I keep thinking of all these ones that we always talk about, but now we kind of take for granted. Like the shopping, when they do all the shopping excursions and everything, those are paid for. Those are they're commercials for the various places. We don't really go to shop. And here's another thing, especially for you youngins. You're a rare breed on cruises. There's a lot of gray hairs on cruises, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. You get to meet a demographic you don't normally get to hang out with. But just be prepared that cruises are typically not for young people, although I love them. I think they're the greatest things. Not cheap. You got to scrimp and save all year to go on these things. But it's the way I prefer to vacation because everything comes to you. Or, well, you go to it. You don't have to move things around. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you want to island hop, then you don't have to.
And sometimes you meet really cool people too. So it's always kind of nice. So anyway, those are our cruise tips. I don't know if anybody else out there has got any cruise tips they would like to pass along, no matter if they're cruising in Alaska, which I love, or cruising somewhere more tropical like in Hawaii or the Caribbean, where we took our honeymoon. Anyway, so let me know. My email address is chris@pirillo.com if you've got other tips you'd like me to share with the rest of the world. I'd love to, related to vacation, or usually what we talk about, technology. Send them along. I'm checking my email even on a cruise ship thanks to this wireless modem connection and streaming live video.
Right there, though.
What?
Tell them if they can do that, it's much more
Oh yeah,
effective to
this
have
is nice.
this.
Yeah, because they'll charge you like by the minute for internet connections. So either prepare by buying a modem for yourself and your own, as long as you're within an area. Right. Well, domestically we can do it because we're in Hawaii, so I've got a connection here because I've got the carrier here. But they may not have that luxury. That may be just depending on where they're going. So it's a good tip. That's a really good tip. But I'm trying to stream live as I can, as the connection enables me to. But even if I'm not streaming live, someone else is, I'm sure. And the chat room is certainly still open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.